Let's talk about the Dark Lord boss fight in The Ancient Gods Part 2. Excuse the subpar gameplay. I believe it was recorded late at night. So the pros of the Dark Lord boss fights are as follows. The Dark Lord getting health back just like the player is awesome. It makes sense considering that the player picks up health, ammo, and armor from his opponents, and since the Dark Lord and the Slayer are two sides of the same coin, it's perfect. Also, it gives the player actual consequences for fucking up. It might be brutal, but it's old school at the same time, and I love it. The mech suit is great. Hitler was in a mech suit in Wolfenstein 3D, and I'm glad that the Dark Lord is in one as well. The horns on the mech's helmets and the bright red color design might be a little cheesy, but in the best way possible, just like Doom Eternal's base campaign. Speaking of aesthetics, the location changes are nice. Even though every location has the same circular layouts, I do appreciate how they switch up the environment a bit with most of the phases. Almost every boss fight in Doom Eternal doesn't shake up the location, but the Dark Lord does it more than once. Regarding the Sentinel Hammer, it's front and center in this boss fight. You can go through the entire DLC and not use the Sentinel Hammer if you don't want to, but this boss fight gives you no choice. The Dark Lord makes the hammer the star of the show, and it reminds me of the first Zelda game on NES, where you don't have to use the sword at all until you get up to Ganon. When fighting the Dark Lord, it's not too difficult. I don't really mind that the Dark Lord isn't that hard once you figure out his pattern, because I personally got burnt out from the Samya fight, and the Ancient Gods Part 2 is a celebration of the Doomslayer saga, not the hump. Sure, it may be repetitive, but at least it isn't as brutal as the Samya fight, and it is better designed, in my opinion. Okay, let's get into a couple of the cons. We never fight the Dark Lord outside of a mech suit, or see the Doomslayer at least kill the Dark Lord outside of his mech suit in a cutscene. The Dark Lord should have gotten out of his suit and fought the player 1v1. I imagine if they did this, it would be similar to a very hard Doom 2016 multiplayer bot, and it would just feel like another player fighting, which is basically what they were going for with the Dark Lord fight to begin with. Also, the demon spirits are a little too much. It does get tedious taking these enemies out, but it's not too difficult or anything. It's a minor issue, but it's an issue nonetheless. So those are my general, summed up, very short thoughts on the Dark Lord boss fights. If I were to give it a rating, which I really don't believe in ratings, especially when judging a game, let alone, a boss fight in a DLC. But anyway, I would give it maybe a 6.5, 7 out of 10. I definitely think it's up there in terms of Doom Eternal's boss fights, and the Doom series isn't really known for bosses to begin with, so this one is pretty above average. That's going to do it for me though. Please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.